Okay, I'm here at Dreamhack Winter. I'm with Socke. He's almost finished his first group stage. What is your score at the moment? 3-1?
Yeah, I'm 3-1 at the moment.
Okay, so let's just... Coming into today, when you saw your group, you basically had 3 Protoss and... who was the other one?
Bly.
You 3 Protoss and a Zerg. What did you think of that group for you in terms of the race distribution and the names there? Like, how tough was it going to be for you?
Well, I think right now I'm weakest against Terran, so race-wise it was kind of good for me. Also, I think groups B and C, if I'm correct, I'm in B, were definitely easier than A and D. So the one that Monchi and Nurcho in and mine are the 2 easier ones. So yeah, one could say I got a lucky group, but then again, I think everybody who qualified for the groups here is quite good, so it wasn't that easy.
So in your group you also had Mana, you had SaSe, and obviously there's going to be a lot of PvP who's going to decide who goes up and goes down. How good did you think your PvP was compared to those 2 guys? I mean, you lost to Mana, but then you beat SaSe.
Well, SaSe is kind of hard to judge for us because he's staying in Korea mostly. I think the last tournament he had done, it was something in China, which nobody watched or got any replays from. So it's hard to tell how good he is. Like, we know that he's good because he's playing in Korea and practicing a lot, and he's a good player in general, but it's hard to tell like what his current shape or playstyle is going to be. Mana, I have a tendency to lose to in important tournaments. I think Kiwikaki and him are the guys who denied me the most in important matches. Also, historically PvP is my worst matchup, but at the moment I'm kind of fine with PvP. I think we're slowly or finally getting over this whole gambling thing. I mean, you can still gamble a lot, but it's not much worse than in the other matchups. So I think PvP is getting more stable, and I like the way the matchup has evolved.
So the other game was against Bly. He actually beat you. I think it was it EPS Berlin that he beat you at?
Yeah.
Okay, so he beat you the last time you played. What did you think going into play him now? I mean, he came second at one of the Dreamhacks not so long ago. So what did you think of going into this game? How did it go?
Well, I've been practicing mostly PvZ for like the last 16 months or so. And Bly has a very peculiar style. I knew that he might roach all in, or gonna do this 2-base Muta or 2-base Infestor, so I thought those were the 3 possibilities. He ended up going 2-base Hydra against my Phoenix opening both times, and I went into quick Colossus, and I don't know, his choice of builds or his choice of strategy just didn't seem too good in my opinion.
Is it fair to say that if we look at your results from the last couple of months, they've been like a bit of a drop-off? You haven't been doing so well?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know, within those last 3 or 4 months, I think after... I think the last things that went well were WCS Germany, which I won, and then the MLG in Columbus, I think, was the one where I started not doing so well. I mean, at times I played good, just barely didn't get the result on, like in that Columbus thing, where one map was missing for me getting first in group in top 6, and then the EPS Berlin Open I started with 3-0 in the group of 6, and then I ended up going 3-2. Both games against Todd I should have definitely won, and then just by one map end up dropping out in the group stage. In the Dreamhack Valencia, in the second group stage, I go 2-1 in my group. I'm immediately out because of map score. So result-wise, one could say it might have been a bit unlucky in some cases. But overall, I've just been not playing as well. Like in the deciding moments, I've been making stupid mistakes, and I don't know. Well, I just haven't been winning as much in the last 3 months, and I think it's mostly about mindset. Like once you start losing a lot, maybe you're more worried about what's going on. You start to think more, and that's not a good thing.
Before this tournament, has anything changed that's led to the good results here? I mean, I'm sure a lot of people might have picked other names to come out of your group instead of you.
Well, I wouldn't call this a good result yet.
According to Wikipedia, oh, by the way, it says that you're definitely through.
Yeah,
Like, it's impossible not to lose even if you lose tomorrow.
Yeah, I counted that, but still, top 12 is not what I'm aiming here for. But yeah, the WCS Globals went quite badly for me. I mean, I lost the parting. Should have won the first game against him, and the second I played kind of random or uninspired. So not to play against him, and against Phoenix I just failed completely. So that was a very bad performance by me, and I think the most important tournament I've attended so far, ever. So yeah, I was very disappointed, and just was sat down and thought for an hour or two, like, what's wrong, and I don't know, maybe I fixed the mindset now. I don't know, I hope.
Does your gut tell you how you think you're going to do at this tournament? Do you feel as though you have like a placing in mind, or is there a certain type of opponent you feel like you can beat? You know, what do you think of this event?
Well, I knew I could or should definitely make it out of the group if I perform up to my level. I think I'm top 12 now, and it's going to be single elimination, best of 5 if I'm informed correctly. I
think so. Yeah.
Like the people I'd be most worried about playing are the Korean Terrans, which are here. It's not my best matchup at the moment, and they're very strong, so I wouldn't want to face one of these. But aside from that, I'm not too worried about playing anyone.
Actually, you mentioned there that two tournaments that you went out when you were on three-way ties or a tie for second place. Historically in your career, actually, you always seem to be the guy who, when there's a three-way tie, you're always the one who drops out. Do you mind that rule of how you decide tiebreakers, or do you think people should actually play a mini tiebreaker amongst each other? What do you think?
Well, in some cases there's a mini tiebreaker. Like I think I've played 2 of these in Socke 2 so far and went out in all of them.
Okay.
But actually, I like the dual tournament system, like in GSL, a lot, because it's if you win 2, you're through. If you lose 2, you're out. At least in the groups of 4. So I like that system. I would like to see it in more events, but I don't know, just hasn't gone so well for me so far with the map scores, and maybe I shouldn't be looking at the scores and like calculating on what I must do to advance. Maybe.
Do you actually do that? Does it ever play in your mind if you know you have to win 2-0 here or 2-1?
Well, I usually like have a look at the scores and find out like what I need to do to advance. But maybe that's not the best idea. Like other situations that come to mind is like I think the 2 IEM championships. One where I'm in like the 4 times tiebreaker with Shoal and Squirtle.
Oh yeah.
And then I think at the other one I was 3-2 in the group, and like one map not enough, so I didn't pass the group. Like I ended up losing the 4 last maps in a row, and like 2 other games had to go exactly the 2-0-2-0. That ended up happening. I went to 2 WCGs. Once dropped out with 5-2, and the other one with I think 4-2 or so. And yeah, there's been lots of that stuff.
Do you feel unlucky? Do you believe in luck, or do you just think it's just random?
No, I wouldn't say I'm unlucky. It's always your own fault if you don't win enough.
Okay. So in Germany, EPS coming up in 2 weeks. Early on in StarCraft 2, you were like owning the German scene. You won like 3 EPS in a row. Since then, I mean, I know you lost in 1 to Hasselhoffs, I think, in the semi-final of 1. What's happened in Germany? Why aren't you like the best player at these EPS tournaments anymore? What do you think?
Well, it's been 2 seasons so far which I haven't won. The first one I lost in the quarterfinals to Cloud. I think it was on, I don't know, Friday maybe, and I just arrived from MLG on Wednesday or so with some flight delay because of strikes. So yeah, I didn't really have time to prepare for that match. Was also a bit tired, maybe because of the flight. Because traveling to those overseas events, like you can really feel it even like a week after. Sometimes you're still not fully there. And also, yeah, Cloud played well and a bit cheesy, so I lost I think 3-1 there to him. rather quickly. And yeah, I don't know. I think that could have been avoided. And last EPS, which I lost to Ozops in the semi-final. Yeah, it's just been in those 3 months where I'm maybe worrying too much.
Okay. What? Give me like your basic take on the German/German-Austrian scene at the moment, because we've got Monchi come along, who's like shot up over the last couple of months and had some surprise results. Like I don't think many people would have thought he would win this IESF tournament, even though there weren't that many good players in it. Hasselhobbs has actually been doing better the last couple of months. He won was it the Berlin Open he won?
Yeah, okay. EPS, I think third place at the
Aces.
The Campus Party Berlin.
Okay, yeah, Campus, yeah. So give me your basic take on like the players who are doing the best, do you think, in the scene at the moment, and where they stack up like in Europe?
Well, I think it's always been mostly between Hasselhobbs and me as far as the Germans go. Up till a couple of months ago, I'd say I've definitely been more successful. I think with his recent successes, we're kind of like, I'm just looking at winnings here. I think we're kind of even by now. Aside from that, yeah, I think there's actually quite a lot of good players. Like Dark Force has been doing too well recently, but he's always been there for a surprise. Yeah, Monchi, he's definitely an up and coming. Also, I'd say people to watch out for, like who are coming. I mean, DBS was upcoming for a while, but he quit. But Kras, I think, has gotten very, very good recently, and also here Marine is doing quite recently. So there's a couple of people are coming up in the scene, and it's definitely not easier to like be the best Germans. I mean, Thilo also has been doing very well recently. As far as I know, like he has hardly had any results. Also hasn't been playing too well for the most of his career. But in the last couple of months, I think there was definitely a big improvement. So maybe it's going to show us here what he can do.
A lot of the European players, especially the ones who aren't like the biggest names, don't actually go to many of the American events. They just stay in Europe pretty much. Yeah. You've gone to MLG, you've gone to some other events. Do you have plans to keep doing this, to like travel as much as you can? Or are you going to stay in Europe for the next few months? What do you think?
Well, I've been skipping even the MLG qualifiers for the last 1 or 2, because I felt like there's so much stuff here going on, and if I'm not in top shape and don't have like the time to really focus on these, then it's not worth going. So yeah, with all the events recently, even not traveling to America, there's been enough to do. But generally, I really enjoy going to the American events. The audience there is always great. There's lots of players from there who I enjoy hanging around with. So the weather is better than here in general. So yeah, I like going there. I think I'll definitely attend some American events in the future soon, but yeah, just now it hasn't been going too well, and like if I'm in a phase like this where it's not going too well, I'd rather not attend as many tournaments which are that far away. And also, yeah, there was so much even here with WCS, like 2 or 3 tournaments in Berlin, EPS going all the time, then 3 Dreamhacks, like this is the 3rd one, WCS Europe, WCS Global, WCS Germany, and probably even a couple of events which I just forgot here. So yeah, there's just been so much going on in Europe at the moment that yeah, lately I didn't have the time or energy to try to qualify for the MLG.
Okay, any final words you want to say? Anyone you want to thank, etc.?
Yeah, thanks to all the fans or everybody who supports me and cheers for me. Even though it hasn't been going too well recently, I think I'm on the upswing again now. Thanks also to Team Alternet, great team. I think I've been with them for like for my whole Socke 2 career, like over 2 years now. It's been going well. So follow me on Facebook.com/Socke with an H at the end actually, and Twitter.com/SockeSC2.
Danke.